Hi guys. If you've ever watched the Dave Ramsey show live stream online, there is a chat area where a group of people who affectionately call themselves the YouTube crazies like to have discussions and give each other advice and do stuff while watching the show. A fairly common topic that comes up is it easier or harder to do the Dave Ramsey plan while single versus while married? I don't know if there's a consensus, because it seems like the married people are always going in and saying it's got to be easier when you're single because there's no one else messing up your budget. There's no one else pushing back against you. And the single people are saying, which is almost always practically just me, there are a ton of single people doing this, are saying, but you only have one income. You don't have anyone to motivate you. So I thought I would scratch down a few of my opinions on pros and cons of doing the Dave Ramsey plan while being single. Now, I don't know if it's easier or harder to do it while being single or married because I've never had a partner doing this. I've paid off $20,000 in the last 3 years doing it on my own. So first and foremost, I always throw in, hey, it's possible, because I've been doing it. And I've seen other people do their debt-free screams as single people on there, and it's incredibly inspiring to me. So the pros of being single while doing the Dave Ramsey plan is essentially that I don't have to fight with anyone to get on board. A huge question in the YouTube world, and a ton of my YouTube friends have answered this, of how to get your husband or your spouse on board with the Dave Ramsey plan, or how I got my husband on board with the Dave Ramsey plan. And I hear it a lot that, one of the spouses comes home and they're like, we got to do this, we got to get out of debt, and the other spouse is like, in a nutshell, essentially. I don't know if they actually acted like Dave Ramsey was a vampire. But there's no one when you're single to tell you you can't do this. You can just do it. In the same vein, I get no pushback when it comes to deciding what the most important thing is for my money. Recently, I decided to pause the debt snowball and pile up $2,000 for something that I saw as a thing that I needed to be prepared for on the horizon. If I had a spouse, then they might have said, hey, no, we need to keep on this. And we would have had to have a conversation or fight about it, about what our biggest priorities were with money. Finally, no one else is screwing up my budget. I see that a lot as well on YouTube of, we're doing so well, we have these plans set out, and then my husband makes a purchase without telling me about it. Or my wife makes a purchase without telling me about it, and it really screwed up our budget. Please pardon Rory, by the way. She has a bone, and she's just decided that she needs to chew it here, right now. And she's too damn cute. I can't stop her. So there's nobody screwing up my budget but myself. Rory rarely touches the budget because she doesn't know how to use a computer. But if I mess up the budget, that is all on me. No one else is coming in and destroying my plans. I'm the only one that can do that. So on the flip side, the cons is obviously I only have one income, which means I have no backup plan, no accountability partner. If I lose my job, like my friends over at Gazelle Intense, Jackie and Chris, they both vlog, and Chris recently lost his job, and that was really sad. But at the same time, they had Jackie's income as a backup that they can get along on until Chris finds a new one. That is a wonderful thing for them, and it's something that I don't have. If I lose my job, it's all on me to be able to make up that income as quickly as possible to get back on the train. So I don't have that. Same time, I don't have an accountability partner who can keep motivating me through this process of when I am really down in the dumps. I'm like, I just want to buy things. I just want to go and do stuff. I don't have anyone to be like, hey, Sarah, we have better things to do than this. We're on a plan. We're on a mission. I have to be the one to shock myself out of the grumpies and the money yuckies, which happens, especially when you're on the plan for as long as I am. Risks are riskier when you're single doing the Dave Ramsey plan. If you decide that let's go back to the $2,000. If you see something coming on your horizon, some sort of storm, and you decide to take the risk of keeping on the plan instead of addressing that, or even vice versa, if you decide to address the risk instead of sticking to the plan, any risk that you take, job-wise, money-wise, move-wise, anything, it's riskier because you are going to be the one that's responsible for anything that happens, and you're going to have to deal with any sort of fallout. Mistakes are worse too, I think. If I screw up with my money, there's no one to help cushion that blow with me. There's no other income source. There's no other person there to be like, it's okay, we'll get through this. I have to take 100% responsibility for all of my own money actions. Finally, I can't hand off the budget to anyone like you could with a partner. I was watching my friend Jessica Ashley's video the other day, and she and her husband Jared were talking about how, you know, she was considering at one point giving up the budget to him just because she was so frustrated and wanted to pass it over to him. And I think she ended up taking it back after a couple of days because someone has to be kind of over in charge of the budget. Someone has to make the budget, though both people need to be involved in a marriage. And it just kind of hit me in the face. I was just like, wait, that's not an option for me. I can't just decide I'm sick of the budget and give it to someone else that I trust to be able to manage it for me. So I don't get a break like that. If I'm sick of it, I just have to keep going. So tell me below whether you think that doing the Dave Ramsey plan or living on a budget is easier or harder as a single person, or if it's easier or harder as a married person. I obviously am only coming from the perspective of a single person. All of the pros and cons aside, I think it's absolutely worth it to do this. I would never change this. I can't imagine a future for myself where I'm not budgeting and I'm not trying to make a plan for my money and managing it and building myself a better future. So all the cons aside, I'm in this. I'm doing it. I'm going to get rid of this last $10,000. Like it or not, anybody else. So I'm going to keep going on as a single person, and I wanted to let you know that it's absolutely possible as a single person. No question in my head. So give me your perspective down below. See you soon.